So let's jump into it. This is a show here. Let's take a look at our divisional round, and we'll do kind of just like we did last week. We'll break everything down, and then we'll go from there. I'll give you my prediction, and we'll try to keep this thing going, kind of try and keep this thing moving as much as possible. So here we go. Let's start off here. We'll go in order this go round. The Bengals and Titans will start our weekend off 4:30 on Saturday. 4:30 on Saturday. I'll go ahead and say it now, just so I can save you guys some of the suspense. I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game. I'm not going to give a spread because I never do when we do things like this. Not going to give a spread, but I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game. But let's break it down. Let's break everything down and let's see what we have, okay? For the Cincinnati Bengals, we know the offense that they have. We know how special Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the connection that they have is. So we know, that they have the ability to put up points. The key is for the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry will be back. A.J. Brown, he's a go. And then Julio Jones is still a question mark, but it's being rumored that he will be a go as well. We'll see how that ends up turning out. But Tennessee has dogs. I know how we felt about Tennessee when Derrick Henry went down, and I won't speak for you guys. For me personally, when Derrick Henry went down, I thought the Tennessee Titans season was pretty much a wrap. I did. But they responded to the adversity. They overcame it, and now they're in the position that they were. They had to bye last week. So again, with these two number one seeds, Green Bay being the one out of the NFC and then Tennessee being the team that represents the AFC as their number one seed, that is going to be one thing. It can be a gift and a curse. Yes, for the sake of the conversation in this point, for example, it's a gift because you have Aaron Rodgers in the NFC who's been dealing with the toe injury, and because he had that week off, now they're saying that he's at 100% or closer to 100% than he was in week 18, right? So that's the gift, but then it could be a curse as well because you got a random bye in the middle of the season, that you work so hard for, but that doesn't account for teams coming out and playing sluggish, teams coming out and not being necessarily 100% awake yet. So that's the curse with the number one seed. But as we look at this Tennessee Titans and Cincinnati Bengals matchup Saturday, I have the Tennessee Titans. I do. I really want to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Everything is really telling me in my head to go with the Cincinnati Bengals, but in my heart, what I know is that the Tennessee Titans are just a bunch of resilient guys, and on top of that, they are the number one seed, and to throw everything else or to make it all come together, they get Derrick Henry back. And they've been playing a great brand of football without Derrick Henry, and now you add Derrick Henry back to the brand of football that they've been playing. To me, it doesn't bode well for the Cincinnati Bengals. Give me the Tennessee Titans in this matchup. I like it. Here we go. On to our next matchup. But today it won't be as long and drawn out as the last episode with the preview. I'll just touch a little bit on it like I did just then with the Bengals and Titans, and then we'll just continue to move forward so we can kind of wrap up here at a reasonable time. Moving on to San Francisco and Green Bay. Green Bay, the number one seed of the NFC, against the number 6 seed in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. Green Bay finished at 13-4. They finished at the number 1 seed. Now let's talk about it, because I have San Francisco again. I think they go into Lambeau. I think they upset the Green Bay Packers. I think they come out and do the same exact thing that they did against the Dallas Cowboys. I think they come out, they punch Green Bay in the mouth. They punch them in the mouth again, and they punch them in the mouth again. And I think at some point, the Green Bay Packers fold. So give me the San Francisco 49ers once again this week. They've been hot. I've been saying the San Francisco 49ers for the past 2 weeks. They haven't let me down yet. And I think that they will continue to win these football games. I do. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. Let's break it down. Where do the Green Bay Packers have the advantage? Obviously at quarterback. Defensively, yeah, I'll give you that as well. They have the advantage defensively. If we look at the head coaches, we have Shanahan, we have LaFleur. I'm not 100% sold on LaFleur. I'm not sold on LaFleur. That's not me saying that I'm sold on Shanahan either, because we know that he will get up and blow leads, because we've seen that from Kyle Shanahan before. But if I have to go one way, I'm going to give it to San Francisco. I am. Quarterback, I mean, again, that's very obvious. You have Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy G. There's no conversation to be had there. The best quarterback of all time. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Then we go look at the receiving core. It's kind of a pick 'em. It's kind of what you prefer. Devontae Adams, he is one of the best receivers in the NFL. He is an all-pro, but so is Deebo Samuel. Deebo needs his respect. We saw him close Dallas out this past weekend on that run, because he can do both. He can be a running back and he can be a wide receiver. So you kind of just take your pick there. We go to running back, Eli Mitchell. We saw what he was able to do, and then again you have to slide Deebo in that category of running back as well. So Eli Mitchell and Deebo Samuel going up against Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. You just pick what you prefer. You pick what you prefer. Honestly, I pick Deebo. That's how I'm feeling. I'm a huge Deebo fan. I pick Deebo. That's me. So, I mean, in any situation, now the wide receiver, we go Ayuk and Deebo, and then we go Devontae and Lazard, or MVG, or MVS, excuse me, Valdez-Scantling. Again, it's a pick 'em. It's what you prefer. I will say this. I will give the slight edge to Green Bay in that respect, because Devontae Adams has been doing this at such an elite level for so long. So I will give the slight advantage there, but it's not too much of a difference. It's really not. If you take Devontae, I'll take Deebo. If you take Deebo, I'll take Devontae. It's not much of a difference there. So this matchup, it will be very intriguing. It will be very intriguing. How do you win this football game? I think that the magic number for the San Francisco 49ers is 26. I think that the San Francisco 49ers have to at least score 26 points in order to beat this Green Bay Packers team, because don't get me wrong, I've been very, very vocal about how I feel about the Green Bay Packers and the brand of football they've been playing this year. I've been extremely vocal about that. I said 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, that the Green Bay Packers, oh man, my apologies, I'm gonna drop my headphones. But I said a couple weeks ago that the Green Bay Packers are the best team in football. And really nothing has changed. Nothing at all has changed. Why I'm taking San Francisco in this matchup is just simply because San Francisco is the hotter team. They're the hotter team. I saw the San Francisco 49ers go into LA week 18 and overcome a 17-point deficit. And then I saw them last week in the Super Wildcard matchup against the Dallas Cowboys go into AT&T and clip them. Absolutely dominate the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the reason why I'm taking San Francisco in this matchup. It's because they're the hotter team. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a bye. Once again, that's a gift and a curse. Aaron Rodgers, he's healthy. He's good to go. The toe has recovered, wherever may have you. But I don't know if Green Bay will be sluggish coming out. I don't know. What I do know is that the San Francisco 49ers have been playing an elite brand of football. And I know right now that I'm taking San Francisco over a lot of teams that are remaining. I'm taking San Francisco over a lot of teams that are remaining, and I'll just leave that there for right now. But I do have San Francisco winning this football game. So we'll see. That's probably going to be the best matchup, in my opinion, of the weekend. I think that 49ers and Packers game is the one to keep your eye out on. Now let's move on. Again, 49ers. Give me the 49ers in that matchup. Give me the Titans in the first matchup. Let's move on to the Rams and Buccaneers. We know the story here. We do. Let's not just beat around the bush. Let's just be honest. We know the story. It's Tom Brady versus Matthew Stafford. I mean, you would be an idiot, and I say that with all due respect, but you would be an idiot to feel in any bone in your body that Matthew Stafford can compete with Tom Brady. So off rip, let's go ahead and give the advantage to the Buccaneers because there's really no real conversation that needs to be had there. There's not. And again, it's idiotic. I won't say that you're an idiot, but it's idiotic to feel as though Matthew Stafford even has a shot. So if it comes down to that, you might as well put the Rams in a body bag. God honest truth. Now let's talk about the head coaches, Bruce Arians and Sean McVay. One is a Super Bowl champion. One is the chosen one. You know who I want in that matchup. Especially after seeing how Bruce Arians handled the Antonio Brown situation. Then he's smacking the shit out of his player in the Philadelphia game. I used to bang with Bruce Arians, but now this year, I don't know. He's kind of turned me off a little bit. I'll be honest with you. He's kind of turned me off a little bit. Give me McVay in the head coaching matchup. And then, if we just break it down, to me, the Los Angeles Rams have the better defense. That's me. Once again, that's me. 2 first-team All-Pros in Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. An accomplished Super Bowl champion in Von Miller. Young guys that fly to the football. So I want the Rams defensively. At running back, I don't know who's going to be a go. I mean, because if you're telling me that I get to have Cam Akers and the way I saw him toting that bitch against the Arizona Cardinals, and I don't want to ever see players get injured. I don't want to ever see nothing like that. But the way he ran through Buddha's fucking face mask and left that nigga, I'm not even going to go there. But the way he was toting that bitch against the Arizona Cardinals, if I had to pick between Cam Akers and Giovanni Bernard, respectfully, we know who I'm going with in that matchup. And if you don't, give me Cam Akers. Now, maybe Leonard Fournette is good to go this week. Who knows? Maybe he is. But coming off of an injury, I still want Cam Akers in the way I saw him perform against Arizona. I do. We can go to wideouts. We know the injuries and the dismissal of Antonio Brown from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you're giving me Mike Evans and a bunch of guys, really, respectfully. Obviously, you have Rob Gronkowski as well. But if we're talking about the receiving core, specifically, you have Mike Evans and a bunch of guys plus Rob Gronkowski going up against the Triple Crown winner, first-team All-Pro, Cooper Kupp. And Mr. Chrome Heart himself, Odell Beckham Jr. Give me the Rams wide receiver core at tight end just because of how great Gronk has been in his career. I'm going to give the slight advantage at tight end to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Tyler Higbee is no slouch. Tyler Higbee came up with a couple of big catches in that game against Arizona when they needed him the most. Matthew Stafford checked right down, right across the middle to my boy Tyler Higbee. And he converted and he did what he needed to do. He made the catches. He made the plays. So if you can kind of feel my energy right now, you should know who I'm taking. But if you don't and you need me to say it, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams because this is the key. Here we go. I said it last week same matchup or the same team with the Rams. I said the same exact thing, and I'm going to say it again this week. This matchup is going to be won by who has the most efficient defensive line. The key for the Los Angeles Rams this week is going to be getting after Tom Brady. And guess what? Your job is a bit easier because we don't know if Wirfs is playing. We don't know if the guard is coming back. I'm going blank on the guard's name or the center, whichever one it was, but I'm going blank on their name. But we don't know what his status is going to be. He was still nursing the injury as of yesterday in practice. He was still nursing the injury. And there's been no word on the interior lineman that I'm referring to. Because his name would have came back to me at some point. Just know that he's a very important piece of that offensive line. One of the best offensive lines in football. If not the best in pass block and pass pro. So your job is a bit easier if you're the Los Angeles Rams, but the key is getting after Tom Brady. Because if he gets comfortable, he's going to shred your ass up. We all know that. But if you can make him uncomfortable, he's immobile. He's immobile. He's not Kyler Murray, a guy that can kill you if he gets outside of the pocket. He's not one of them. So if you can get after Tom Brady and speed that clock up in his head a little bit, I think that the Los Angeles Rams have a very good shot at winning this football game. I do. Now, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers D-line, and really their front seven, so I can't say that it's necessarily a D-line versus D-line thing, which ultimately that is what it comes down to, is the battle in the trenches. I do believe this game will be won by the team that's the more aggressive team in the trenches, the team that comes out and feels as though they want to dominate the most in the trenches. But for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the key for me is slowing down that running game of the Los Angeles Rams. That is the key. Slowing down Cam Akers, slowing down Sony. I'm not sure what Darrell Henderson has going on. Let me take a look real quick and see if I can find anything on him. Just real quick. Because I know I haven't seen him at all. Like really the past 2 or 3 weeks. So he was placed on IR on December 27th. Let's see. Yeah, so there's really nothing. There's nothing really that I can find on his injury at this very moment, and I don't want to hold you guys up too much on this. So irregardless, the key for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is stopping the Rams' run game, because when the Rams are efficient on the ground, that opens up their whole offense. It does. That's when they're able to dink and doink all the way down the field with play action passes, under routes, all of those type things. When the Rams are running the football well, that is when that is the best product. That is when we see the Rams' best offensive product, is when they're running the football well. So the key for Tampa Bay is stopping that run. That's the key. They must stop the run. If they show an inability to do that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be clipped. And that's the reality of the situation. Again, Give me the Los Angeles Rams. I need it. I have the Los Angeles Rams winning this football game. I think Tom Brady gets bounced in the second round. And I think that the Rams move on to go see the San Francisco 49ers. A San Francisco 49ers team that has already beat them twice this year. So you take that as you will. Let's move on. Our final matchup here, the Bills and the Chiefs. Y'all know where I'm going with this, but let me go ahead and make it abundantly clear. Give me Josh Allen. I need it. Give me Josh Allen. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Give me Sean McDermott. We'll break it down. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. A lot of y'all will say Patrick Mahomes. I can't say that I disagree with you. I think that the difference between the two is a lot closer than a lot of people will try to make it. I think that the difference between those two guys are a lot closer than a lot of people will try to make it. It's really a pick 'em to me, but I can't be mad if you say Patrick Mahomes. So I'll let you have that. I'll give you that. Running back, to me, to be quite honest with you, the running back position in this matchup means absolutely nothing. And I say that with all due respect to Clyde and Devin Singletary and Zach Moss and the running backs for the Kansas City Chiefs. I say that with all due respect. I do, but they're pretty much irrelevant. They're pretty much irrelevant in this matchup. This is going to be an air raid, this game. It's going to be a shootout. And ultimately, it's going to come down. This is what this game is going to come down to, because we can look at the coaches. You know, you got Andy Reid and Sean McDermott. Andy Reid, again, a Super Bowl champion, a legend in this game, one of the most loved coaches in the NFL amongst players and coaches alike. And then Sean McDermott. I'm very familiar with Sean McDermott due to his stint in Carolina, so I know a lot about the guy. Again, the coaching matchup to me really is a pick 'em once again, just like the quarterback situation. It is. And then wide receiver core, I said this on LRP and I'll say it again today. The wide receiver core, you might have to give me really, I know the gas behind, I know the gas behind Trav and Tyreek, but you might have to give me Buffalo's wide receiver core, honestly. I know Hardman, I know Pringle, I know those dudes, but if you giving me the option to have those guys or Stephon Diggs with Cole Beasley, McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, and Emmanuel Sanders, as well as Dawson Knox, simple math, just based on the names that I just named, simple math is going to tell you that 6 is greater than 4 off rip. So give me the Buffalo Bills wide receiver core, with all due respect to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And then at that point, we're stuck with defense. And to me, this game is going to come down to who can make the most stops. And that might sound like a basic concept. You may say, obviously, that's the key in any football game, who can come up with the most stops. But the thing about it is, this is a game that you're going to see a lot more points scored than stops had. Honestly, you will. This is going to be a shootout. Let me see what the over-under is right now as it pertains to points. Right now it's at 53.5, and if I was a betting man, I would be hammering the over. I would be hammering the over if I was a betting man myself. I'll just be honest with you. 53.5, I think that spread will change before Sunday. But again, if I was a betting man, I would have to take the over, because this is going to be a shootout, and the key to win this game is getting the most stops. Who can get the most stops? Because there will be more points scored in this football game than there are stops to be had. Honestly. And if it comes down to that, I want the Buffalo Bills. So that's why I have the Buffalo Bills in this matchup. I have full faith in Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is going to take this matchup personal, because if we really look at it from last year, the Kansas City Chiefs took away Josh Allen's MVP trophy, and the Kansas City Chiefs took away Josh Allen's opportunity to be a Super Bowl champion. So I think Josh Allen is going to take this matchup personally. I think that the Buffalo Bills defense will be able to overcome the adversity that is Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And I think that the Buffalo Bills will win this football game. I do. The Buffalo Bills will make more stops than the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's why they'll win this football game, because their defense will come up big in a big moment, and they will change the whole dynamic of this game. They will. Give me the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Buffalo Bills, man. Let's take a look. That's going to be a great matchup too, bro. Just another great week of football. It's really the last week of football, really the last weekend of football that we have. Honestly, I mean, obviously we know the championship. We'll have championship Sunday next week, and then the Super Bowl on February 13th. But this is really the last real weekend of football that we are left with, man. So everybody just enjoy the moment, take it all in. It's been a hell of a year. I'll be honest. My stance on the 18 weeks, the 18-week season has changed a bit. I like it. I like the 18-week season. I like all the flip-flopping that occurred in the standings this year. I like that, any team could be beaten on any week. I love the NFL season this year. A great wild card weekend, and I'm hoping for an even better divisional round this weekend with the matchups that we have. Again, real quick, Bengals and Titans. Give me the Titans. 49ers and Packers. Give me the 49ers on the road in Lambeau. Los Angeles versus Tampa Bay. Give me the Rams. And Buffalo versus Kansas City. I'll take Buffalo. That is 3 underdogs out of the 4 because a lot of y'all were on my jacket, on my body because I made a post, talking my shit because I went unbeaten last week. I went on a heater last week, and a lot of y'all were trying to pop y'all shit to me talking about I took, all the favorites, this and that. You can feel that way, but listen, it happens. It happens, bro. I'm just blessed with knowing what's going to happen, bro. And I really feel like I'm going 4-0 this week. I do. So, again, pretty much the last weekend in football, we will have the 2 games next week. We will have the Super Bowl. But make sure you take this moment in because this has really just been a hell of a year for the NFL. And honestly, I'm just going to give the NFL as a whole a round of applause. Just with the fact that they were able to deal with COVID, there was really no drop-off. There were fans in the stadiums, high energy. Every Sunday in every stadium you went to, just great football being played all year from just numerous different teams. It was just a great year. It was just a great year. And again, I'm hoping that the divisional round will live up to the expectation or live up to the bar that the rest of this NFL season has set.
She bringing the friends. That nigga hot now. My niggas be getting the guap now. Pull up, we getting the bus and ain't up for discussion. Let's roll up a Russian. Lil' shawty, she cute and she give me concussion. Young Mason, he told me to run it. Hey, I'm like, hold up. I'm flexing, they saying I glowed up.